Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. If you're asking yourself, what is Beppe doing? What is Beppe cooking? It is Sunday, but it's also international break and it is extremely boring. This morning was extremely boring, so I tried to be creative, to do things that I'm not usually doing because our guys are playing. I prefer when we are playing. Also, the fact that I'm recording today standing up is actually to break your routine, to always seeing Beppe sitting there reading the pages. I wanted to do something totally different, so let me know in the comment what you think about it. If from time to time Beppe is standing up while talking to you. What did I do this morning? Tennis, Yannick Sinner, congratulations to him. Only man that was able to beat 3 times in a row. Djokovic, fantastic, crazy, especially for the Italian ones that are supporting tennis. Yannick Sinner is on fire. Congratulations to him. This afternoon there is football, because it's true, our men are not playing, but the Allianz Stadium will be full. 32,000 Juventini will be there to support Juventus women that today have the opportunity to beat Roma, the one that are Scudetti holders since the last 2 seasons. If we beat them, we'd go at +9. Of course, it's the beginning of the season. Of course, the season is long. Of course, there is time, but that would be fantastic, especially after their fantastic start also in Champions League. Obviously, I'm asking you, if you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like. Continue to subscribe to make that channel bigger and bigger and bigger, because now we start with the updates. A lot of our players stayed in La Continassa. We know it, only 11 went with their national team. 2 of them didn't play a single minute. Actually, even more, because Di Gregorio also didn't play. Conceição, we already anticipated it yesterday. He didn't play. He was watching their boys. We know it. The coach there, Martinez, ex-Belgium coach, said he's a bit tired. He needed a bit of rest. Let's see if he will play that second game. Exactly the same story for Weston McKennie that went to USA. Pochettino, new coach of our Americans, said calma, calma, let him rest. Also him, a bit of fatigue here and there. So I'm asking myself, international break that I hate so much, was it actually a good time to have international break with our players that probably are not used anymore to play twice a week? Actually, it's a good one. Some people are saying, Beppe, but with all the absence that we have, is it not the case to start asking to our next gen a few players? Semedo, Felix Agena, etc, etc. Calma, no. Because our next gen are doing extremely bad. Only 6 points in all the games that we already played in 3rd division. We are at the bottom. We are really at the bottom. And again, the same story is repeating themselves from last year. We are at risk of relegation at the moment. Montero is not doing a fantastic job. Absolutely not. The players have some difficulties. We are not training since more than 3 games. The last 3 we lost. 1, 2, 3. Disaster. So instead of looking what player can reinforce the first team, maybe in January also them, they will need to check who can reinforce them, like we did last year with the comeback of, for example, Sekulov. That will not come back this time because it's at Sampdoria in 2nd division. We need to think. We have 2 priorities, I told you. One that was not planned, one that was planned. The not planned, we know it, center back, and Juventus is looking, is working. They are checking, what can we do? One thing that I heard is we are not looking for a young player to launch now. That's not what we are looking, because what we try to do is actually covering from now on until the end of the season, giving someone that is immediately ready. The profile of Milan Skriniar is just epic and fantastic for this Juventus. Of course, only for a loan, only with the participation of Paris Saint-Germain, not more than that. We are not thinking about the future with Milan Skriniar. For the future, we are counting first of all to recuperate Gleison Bremer and then investing on another name, the name that we talked about in the last few days, like the one from Ajax, for example. So forget also about Ismaili, etc, because these are not the players that Juventus is targeting at the moment. Who is targeting Juventus? Well, someone that is ready to play. Ready to play, and now we are paying attention maybe to a slightly different name for the attack, a slightly different strategy. But it's really nice because we have a casting there, an open casting with every page that is going with their own name. For example, Corriere dello Sport, Jonathan Davis, the name that is going up and up and up. And Jonathan Davis is a beautiful name. Of course he is. Canadian player that is doing quite well in Liga, has some experience there, could reinforce an Italian team. It's not the first time that has been linked with Juve, but there is a huge problem that he is not European, or at least he can't play with a European passport. So we have a problem because we are needing for a player immediately in January. Who can be that player? Not him. And that's why Juventus is looking, because they need to reinforce themselves also immediately now. Gazzetta dello Sport is telling us another name, and that's a new name. And it's a name that actually is quite possible. The name of Beto. Do you remember Beto that was playing at Udinese 2 seasons there, 22 goals? Beto is a really great player. At Everton, if you're looking at the games that Everton played, 7 games, he already scored 3 goals. You say, Mamma mia, he's on fire. The problem is that he's playing, yes, but in the cups, in the Carabao Cup, in that AFL Cup, he's not playing in Premier League. 4 games he played, 43 minutes in total, so 0. Never started, played here, a few seconds here, a few seconds there, and Beto, that is still young because he's still 26, is thinking about maybe a comeback in Italy. I like the profile of Beto. Young striker, 26 is young, guys, let's not exaggerate. With experience, already knows Serie A, or already knows the language, knows what it is to play with the Bianconeri because he comes from Udinese, but jokes aside, he knows what it is to play for a smaller team in Italy, playing against the big ones, and then also going to Juve. Juve, that would be a beautiful promotion for him, beautiful for his career, because let's not compare Juve with Udinese, let's not compare Juve with Everton. Beto is one that we need to keep here in mind. Of course, Juventus is looking only for a loan, because the budget that we have for the winter will not be huge. So, and the defender and the striker, Juventus, Giuntoli are thinking to go for a loan. If Everton is open, why not? Pay attention, because Roma, the owners of Roma, they just acquired Everton, and also Roma is interested. So it will be quite difficult. What are the other names? Well, there are names also from Everton that are coming. The one of Calvert-Lewin, you know, the guy is 27. He's on fire at Everton. He's doing quite well this season. On the other side, is he the player to reinforce Juventus immediately? I prefer to go for a profile like Beto. If we're looking for a loanee, if we're looking for a player that comes until the end of the season, I prefer one that already knows the language, the league, etc., that can be there as a backup for Dusan Vlahovic. On the other side, you know, my preferred one is and remains Kalimuendo. Kalimuendo, that is, you know it, playing at Rennes, comes from Paris Saint-Germain. Thiago Motta knows him. Thiago Motta launched him with the under-19 when he was 16. Would love to come back. He wants to come back. He wants to work again with Thiago Motta. Cristiano Giuntoli is already observing him since a few times. Thiago Motta is pushing for him. If we are able to speak with Rennes to go for the simple loan, he would be the player that is ideal, because he can play with Vlahovic, he can play instead of Vlahovic, can play a bit more on the left, can play a bit more on the right. He's a player that has different characteristics than the Serbian number 9. So Kalimuendo, it's true that Juventus is observing. They went when they were playing, last game against Cyprus, he didn't play, so they went for nothing, but they will go again because they are playing in Nancy in France on Tuesday, where we'll have again that 007 agent of Juve that will monitor Kalimuendo Arnaud. That would be a beautiful one. Now, that being said, entering, even if we don't have a lot of money, Juventus is also thinking about selling players, stopping contract. We know it. That was one of the 4 missions on the schedule of Giuntoli during this international break. One of the names is Arthur, and Marseille, De Zerbi, is maybe helping. Why? Because they are calling for possibly having Arthur in January. And that would be a beautiful move for Juve, because there you are able to save a bit of money on his salary. Who knows, maybe they even want to buy him, even if I think they also want to go for a loan. It's not that Marseille suddenly they have all the money in the world, but helping with saving on the salary of Arthur would not be bad, because we know that we'll have probably another problem in the summer. Filip Kostic, that went to Fenerbahce last minute, already over our deadline of Mercato. Luckily, Turkish Mercato was still open. He went there. He played just once. He's not doing well at the moment with Fenerbahce. What means that if he's not able to compete for a starting spot, if he's not able to start, in the summer he's back. In the summer he's back, and you have again the same story. A player that is not in the plans, a player that is earning money, a player that still has a contract, that is still there, and you need to find a solution. If he's not able to perform at Fenerbahce, forget about the bigger clubs being interested. I'm not speaking about top-level clubs, but a bit better clubs being interested in putting cash on the money. Juve, Lazio on the 19th. I can't wait for that game. So if you enjoyed the video, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza. Juve.